So I posted this a while ago, and it says, potential is not what I have done. Potential is what I have not done, but still can do. Potential is not what I have, it is what I do not have, but I still can have. Potential is not who I am, it is who I am not, but I still can be. So please, brothers and sisters, dig down deep inside, take a look at what's going on around you. I mean, really get to know what's going on around you, and go and do something about it. Volunteer at the local food banks. Donate to the local food banks. Go into the battered women's shelters and minister to these individuals. And sometimes people hear that word minister, they think it's just all godly word. It's a biblical word, and they get all scared. But go and serve people. Help the people out. Help the elderly out. Because these are the ones, as we sit here and we complain about the government not giving us enough, these are the individuals that as we sit and we complain are going to continue to not have. Because we're still waiting for the government. It's on us. It's on us to do something about the situation that we live in. So, I'm going to get down here. My time is up. Sometimes when you get and you speak, a problem comes. The problem is that when you're done and you keep going, that's where the problem comes in, is when you're done but you keep going. So I think I'm almost done here. Maybe I was done 5 minutes ago, but nobody said something. But that's okay. Something that I wrote the other day, this is my own quote here, okay, and it has to do with faith. Because in order for us to have power and to enter into a situation, to change things, I believe that we must have faith. We must have an inner belief. We must have an inner power. Okay? Because when we go and we do these things, we minister to others, a lot of times we find a lot of pain comes as a result. Okay? And I was thinking about a lot of these problems that we have in our society, and I was thinking that it's impossible for me. I got this defeatist attitude that it's impossible for me to have an impact upon society. So I wrote something. And it goes like this. I say, I must embark upon what all humanly evidence has deemed impossible. When I do this, I find out that my faith is stronger than even I know, and it grows. Talk about pain. Pain is many times a precursor to growth. But I believe that the pain of stagnation and unbelief will exceed many times over the pain of growth and that which comes as a result of having faith. So please, have faith, go out into society, find out what's going on with your people, your brothers and sisters, and find out how you can take your faith and you can leverage your power and your capacity to enter into a conflict, to say something and to change something. I'm done.
And next up we have OJ. Give him a round of applause, please.
Go ahead. I know you must all be thinking, great, he's back to read more awful, violent things, but that's not the case. I just thought I'd like to reintroduce some levity to our situation here. Just bring things down. That was very good. Actually, that was very good. You're a very good speaker. I enjoyed that. So to change the subject just a little bit though, is anyone here fond of Waffle House?
Waffle House.
Or has anyone ever been there? I mean, more importantly, has anyone ever not been there? Okay. Well, this isn't necessarily about Waffle House, but I wrote this small part of my novel at Waffle House, and I just decided to read it. So I'm sitting here, dazed at a local diner. A smoky haze rises from my ashtray and radiates around the table. Del Shannon's Runaway is streaming overhead through the Age sound system, but I don't give a fuck. The waitress tops off my cup of coffee as I light another cigarette. Is it Sunday morning? Tuesday? Thursday? I haven't the slightest. My life runs together these days. Absorbed by apathy, you find your mind grows idle. It weakens. So, what'll you have? Asks the server. She's an older woman, overweight and masculine. I lazily eye the menu. I'll come back, she says with a sigh. The cigarettes just aren't tasting good this morning. The smoke is bitter, but I keep on choking it down in the hopes that it'll get better. Of course, I realize that nothing in life ever gets better. Things simply get worse over time. They degenerate until they reach a breaking point. When something finally reaches that point, it fades away, painfully but silently. I consider for a moment what it would be like to quit smoking. If I no longer enjoy it, maybe it would be a good idea to quit. It could save me a lot of money, and I'd lead a healthier life. After about 3 seconds of consideration, I laugh to myself and breathe in a hefty load of cancer-laden smoke. My coffee is damn hot and a great deal bolder than I'm used to. The unpleasant taste really gets me thinking about the background of the beverage. Coffee is a drink with a culture all its own. Where along the line do people think that it would be a good idea to drink hot, bitter water? Since when was coffee actually enjoyable for anyone? I assure you that no one drinks it for its taste. And what about tea then? Which fool first said, hey, let's steep leaves in water and then drink it? I guess the same could be said about alcohol too. I'm no expert on the history of booze, but I imagine that ancient humans stumbled upon it by accident. They sipped it with their simple minds and simple garb, realizing how vital it is to mankind. They discovered that it does all sorts of things. It drowns sorrow, causes addiction, and even gives you enough balls to approach a woman. Still, I took coffee for what it was. I never added anything to it. I never masked its taste. I accepted it for being coffee, and I knew full well that every time I drank a cup, it would be unpleasant. My philosophy on the whole thing is this: if you're going to drink coffee, then drink it black. If you add anything else to it, it ceases to be coffee, and that, I'm afraid, is tragic. Sure, I've never been that fond of the stuff, but like I said, I like it well enough to acknowledge it as an individual with its own respective strengths and shortcomings. I would never add anything to it or make it change if it didn't want to, because that would be wrong with me. The waitress returns a few minutes later and asks me again in her deep, manly voice, "What will you have?" I hand her my menu. "I'll take some wheat toast, 2 sausage patties, and an egg. Sunny side up, please." She obediently scribbles down the order and marches back into the depths of the diner. Through the window, I see that the rain has stopped. It'll soon return, though, and more likely than not, I'll get caught walking in it. The food finally arrives some 15 minutes after my awkward exchange with the server, and it tastes like shit. The toast is burned, the eggs are too salty, and the sausage is cold in the middle. I eat it regardless. Maybe it's because I'm hungry, maybe it's because I have bad taste, maybe both. I chase the awful meal with a quick swig of cold coffee and end up with a scowl. The waitress has the audacity to jump off the bill, and I can't help but roll my eyes as I catch sight of her hand. A modest little wedding ring on her finger makes me wonder what kind of man would be desperate enough to lay this monster. Who knows? Maybe she'll be my type in a few years, but frankly, times aren't that hard, not yet anyway. Reading over the bill, I noticed that an unreasonable breakfast, $9.75, has been written in red cursive. Does the cook really expect me to pay that much for bullshit? I place a $10 bill beneath my half-empty coffee cup. I hope she's real fucking pleased with that $20 she deserves. Everything in this diner is abysmal. On the back of the bill is a cute little box labeled comments with a few blank lines in it. Now, as a customer, I feel quite eager to express my dining experience. In my neatest handwriting, I write, "Not coming back, whore," and I top it off with a smiley face. The clock on the wall reads a somber 1:16 p.m. as I leave. No sooner do I walk out the door, I get drenched in the rain. The next morning, I found myself eating breakfast at the same diner amid a flurry of dirty looks from yesterday's waitress. I'm fairly certain that she had at least spat in my food, but here I was, eating it anyway, and damn, did it still taste awful. Visit Waffle House.